Since we got some time, let's talk about some of the new changes that are coming to the division, ladies and gentlemen. So, in the most recent state of the game, you guys will find out they are making some dramatic changes to the summit mode to make it more replayable. So, beginning at title update 11.1, they're going to change the difficulties on the summit. You can, everybody will be freshly start over at floor 1, and now you can do all 100 floors at a particular difficulty of your choosing. As well, they are going to make it so that way you can choose what directives you want to run, and you want to run Fog of War only, you want to run Pistolero, you want to run Scavenge skills, Cool skills, um, any of the different directives. You can do that at your own disclosure, and for every directive that you add, it adds a 25% increase to your XP. As well, for each and every directive that you add, it also will add +1 to the targeted loot for that floor. Now, let's go ahead and talk about targeted loot. Targeted loot is also going to be changing with the new title update. With the new title update, you will also now be able to select, and I will say this again, you will personally be able to select your targeted loot while you are farming the summit. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you this right now, the summit will become the most highly used game mode going forward. When you can select exactly what targeted loot, and when I mean targeted loot, we all know that when you go and you farm gear sets, you only farm the greens, you farm the green icon. Now, with the summit mode, you will be able to farm particular gear sets. Meaning, if I want to select hardwire and only farm for hardwire gear sets, I can be able to do that going forward with the summit. If I want True Patriot, if I want Striker, if I want, you know what I'm saying, any of them, Ace of Spades, you will be able to do that. Not only will you be able to do that, you even be able to select how many floors that targeted loot will fall on. So let's say you start on floor 1. From floors 1 through 30, you can set for it to be True Patriot. From 31 to 40, you can set that up so it could be gear mods. If you wanted to set it up from 41 up to 60 for that to be LMGs, you can do that. It will be your choosing. Not only is it individually selecting it, if you're in a 4-man group, every person in your group gets to select their personal targeted loot. You also, like any other time, you can share your targeted loot with the people that are in your group. So let's say I'm farming for hardwire, I get a god roll chest piece. I don't need it. I already have a god roll chest piece. I can drop that chest piece for one of my teammates and they can take it. You get what I'm saying? Same thing for them. Let's say they're farming True Patriot. They get a god roll True Patriot holster. They could drop that for you. You could pick that up as well. So that is some of the major changes that is coming to title update 11.1. There are some other things that are coming. Let me remember, because I was watching the state of the game and it was so many changes that they're like wanting to implement with the title update. But those are the major things that I definitely am going to go ahead and, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Those are the, if you want the cliff notes, that's the major bulk of it. They basically broke down how you can alter your difficulty levels. So let's say you start on floors 1 through 30, you start on normal mode. From 31 to 45, you do legendary with 4 directives, and when you come back the next day at 45, 46, Actually, it would be 44, because if you stop at 45, it takes you back down to the soft checkpoint at 44. When you go back in at 44, you could change it to heroic. You can do that. And how it will work is you start at floor 1, you go all the way up to floor 100, get to floor 100, and it starts all over again. It's going to constantly keep cycling that way, all the way up, from 1 to 100, no matter what. There will no longer be any soft checkpoints on the elevator, so you can't go up to floor 80, you can't go up to floor 91, you can't go up to floor 51. You will not be able to do that anymore. Now, the one thing that I am kind of worried about, and a lot of content creators are saying, and I will say this as well, the keys or the legendary components. Remember, to complete the final project after you beat the hunters on floor 100, you will need a normal legendary component, a hard legendary component, a challenging legendary or challenging component, exotic component, and you will need a heroic and a legendary exotic component for every skill level. But with this change, remember, you can play floors 1 through 100 all on normal. The only difference is that once you get to certain floors, let's say floor, right, floor 90, you get 5 lieutenants, or like 4 lieutenants or something like that. I think that's how it's supposed to work. So, because you're not changing the skill level based on, saying floors going up, I don't really know how the exotic components for the final project is going to work going forward. So what I'm going to say to you guys right now is go farm that stuff now. And if I would recommend you start on the legendary floors first. The heroic and legendary floors, farm them first, because it's easier to farm the normal and the hard and even the challenging floors very easily. But you have to do the heroic and the legendary floors either with a 2-man group or higher, because otherwise it could be a situation where, you're going to keep wiping and you're not going to get your exotic components. So I'm going to go ahead and say that now. I would recommend that you guys go ahead and start farming that stuff now, man. Start farming it now, so that way when the new change comes in 11.1, you won't be left out talking about, dang, I got to farm 100 floors just to get the normal component. You know what I'm saying? Just so I can get the normal exotic component. Now, we don't really know if it's still going to still be based on the floor differences. They didn't really clarify that. I don't know if they've even thought about that based on the changes that they've made yet. Maybe we'll probably hear more about that when the next State of the Game comes out this week or next week or whatever. But I'm just going to let you know that is what I'm hearing. Also, we're hearing that the title update 11.1 will be releasing sometime around the 20th, I think. Yeah, the 20th would be next Tuesday. That's what they're estimating will be the date when title update 11.1 will release. It might get pushed back to the 27th, because the 27th would actually be the Tuesday after that. But at the earliest, that's what they're telling us is the 20th of October. So that is just some information for you guys. Just throwing that out there. Some of the new updates that are coming to 11.1. So hope you guys do enjoy it. Again, I am Soulful of SoulfulSax Gaming. If you guys haven't heard of me, feel free to check me out, man. I'm over on YouTube. Check me out. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at SoulfulSax Gaming, and on Instagram, and that's SoulfulSax_gaming. So check me out. Give me a follow. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel.